The Smooth Home Drive. Kolade Dominate.
Because on the spotlight, I bring you your usuals, your favorites, and your amazing individual personalities that are always inspiring and urging you to do things differently and better. All right, today on the show, if you're following us across our social media platforms, you definitely can tell we have a special guest. We're going to be talking to one person. She's amazing. She's great. She's been around since 2002. She goes by the name Dija Blair. She's probably known as a Dija. She's currently signed to Mavin Records. She's great. Hello, Dija. How you doing?
We're good. I'm doing very well. And yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. Obviously, your new single, Ayo, is driving me crazy.
Yay! Alhamdulillah, that's what I want to hear.
All right, so you've been around for a very long time, since 2002, and you've been making great music. And a lot of people have been asking questions, Dija, what's up with Dija? What's happening? What's going on? You took a time off. What happened?
Well, I started professionally. I would say I pushed it in 2008. It was probably like my first. And then signed to maybe in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, Dija is a journey.
Yeah.
So I'm still on it.
You're still on it. It's just a gradual thing. We move from one place to the other, and then we do great stuff.
Life, you have to, it's God's time. And, I've grown along the way. I have additions. I'm just learning, and I'm just trying to fit into the new world order that we have found ourselves now.
Okay.
Regardless of where it was that we're all rushing to, we are here now.
We're home.
Right.
2014, when you actually signed with Don Jazzy, how did the record deal happen?
Honestly, with the grace of God, alhamdulillah. But it was my manager.
Okay.
And Baby Fresh, who is a producer.
Yeah.
On I would say knew each other as well. And Baby Fresh, had I always say like he's played a part in getting my music to Jazzy's ears.
Yeah.
And shout out to my manager Rabbi as well. So it started with that, and then before we even got signed, we were working with Jazzy and the team for at least a year of making sure that you're creating music. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, oh, we saw each other and oh my God, this is it. We are good for me to the world and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it was great. Then meeting Ricardo, meeting Kolade, then meeting all the legends in there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I understand.
It's just crazy that I found myself in such amazing, surrounded by amazing people, especially when you never really saw it coming when you really started the journey. So. And they've helped me grow along the way. So,
pretty amazing.
Alhamdulillah.
All right, big shout out to you now. Let's take you through your discography. But honestly, Dija, tell me, which one is your favorite collaboration? This is like one of the
You know what I mean? The fact that I've literally gotten to work with Don Jazzy is just amazing. Like it's something where when you're looking at music and in our industry and it's like they call Jazzy the enigma.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's just like to be working with a living legend is almost surreal. You know what I mean? To be able to say that I can reach out to Jazzy and say, Jazzy, see something where I get to, I beg, can you tell me how this sounds? Or wow, I like this beat. Or wow, we're working on something. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a journey that I like I said, I've not even scratch the surface of yet, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
It's just like you're starting. You're just starting.
Exactly. Like every time I feel like it's, I've as much as people think I've taken a break, I've not taken a break. I've dropped a song every year.
That's
since
true.
You've known, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not even a song. I've dropped a compilation.
Yeah, you have the Afro Dija.
I've dropped 2 EPs. But I don't think I've dropped enough. You know
obviously.
what I mean? I still don't think I've dropped enough. I still think that there's and I still think my fans have not heard all my work as much as the real fans have heard everything, all the way to what you were mentioning, even way before Mavin. Literally, it's just you have to come guns blazing in this thing like every day. Even when they don't think that you're guns blazing, you are guns blazing. You know what I mean? Like in music, everybody is just sort of putting their best foot forward.
Yeah.
But it's a journey, and it's a difficult one. And I think we don't really talk about the different things, the mental capacity, the mental health, the mental weight you carry along the way as you're growing.
Yeah.
In such an amazing industry that is really very spiritual. Let's keep it real. It's music chooses you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really does. It's because there's talent everywhere. Talent, yapa. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, exactly. So you see that, you know that, and you thank God for your blessings and your mercies. And for me, once you're alive, you keep moving.
Once you're alive,
and
keep
Mavin
moving.
definitely has played such an amazing part in my life because it's a platform. And you know what a lot of people would love is a platform to share their voice, share their story, share. In fact, just keep going. You know what I mean?
Music can be crazy, especially taking all the attention, taking all the time. You have to make sure the record is right. You have to make sure that you appear for video shoots, to go for shows. And you have to take care of the kids. And also take care of the man as well. So, have you been able to put all of these things together?
Honestly, it's the same thing that I think now that I'm a little wiser. At first you feel everything just kind of happens at once. But I like I said, it's something I've prayed for, I guess. And and you take it as it comes. You wake up every day, and with the grace of God, you ask God for the strength. People ahead of us, our mothers, have done this, and we, they always say, shout out to the people that have trained us and have taught us and have made us ready and strong. Africa is a beautiful continent, and we have our different ways. And as much as sometimes we see it as, it can be, mom is making me do this and that and whatnot, whatever, all these kind of things. They touch you to take every day as it comes. By the grace of God. Let me just tell you. So, nobody can really get you ready for putting a home together. But shout out to the people that have helped us along the way, have assisted us along the way, have shown us the way. And, we continue learning along the way. Like I said, many women have done this ahead of time.
Yeah.
Have done this before me.
Okay.
And they didn't die. So we are going to keep going.
I don't have a choice. I have to do mine and make sure that I keep it afloat.
I mean, you have a choice in how you create your life.
Okay.
You really do. I think people really need to start realizing that sometimes you might not have a choice in the hand you were dealt with, but you also sometimes have in what you can break you or make you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think everything in mental capacity and the grace of God, you tell yourself you're going to do it, you will do it. You got to do it. You
got to do it. You don't get choice.
And then when you also have when you have children, especially when they didn't get called here, you called them.
Yeah.
The idea is that you make it work and you make it happen. And like I said, women ahead of me have done this. Amazing men as well have supported and have done and have created amazing homes. So it's teamwork. It's teamwork as well as is superhuman powers. I say moms have superhuman powers. Once you have kids, you turn to a superhuman.
No, truth be told, I want to ask you about the mental capacity of a lot of things when it comes to the entertainment industry. And now people just come at you for different reasons and they do not understand your space or what is running through your mind, what you're going through at that moment. That's number one. For example, it's so quick to criticize a celebrity. Whether it does something right, it does something wrong, okay? People do not pay attention to the mental capacity of, superstars, entertainers here and there. What do you have to say as regarding that?
I said it's just human. It's also human to criticize. People criticize every day. It's not really just about in our own line of work. But outside of criticism, you also have a lot of people that are giving you amazing words and praying for you, and pushing you beyond what you even imagine. And one of our biggest mistakes we've made is focusing on the negative a lot.
Okay.
And that's just usually what you grow out of after a while. You don't even have time to look at that side after a while when you've reached certain levels of busyness or certain levels of where you're trying to organize. And, what people don't really understand is that you're human. And I think people understand that. What you need to understand, truthfully, is that you're human. And you focus on your fans. And when I say fans are people that are literally uplifting you.
Yeah.
And are spending their precious times and their money and they're literally buying your music or streaming your music. These are the people that you should focus on, not necessarily people that don't really, and shout out to the people that literally you give something to talk about. You get, it's all entertainment, but the mental part is something you have to do every day. It's the same way, like you thank God for being able to bathe every day. Cleanliness and hygiene, and also having faith. Every day you wake up, it's almost like you renew your faith. You're supposed to. So it's the same way as mental health. You're supposed to literally practice proper mental health because you need it. You need it in living on earth, regardless of just dealing with your work that you're doing. But I think anything where you put yourself in the public eye, your mental health should be your number one priority, I think, because it's something you're not really told right away, but I think we all discover it along the way. And some of us are strong enough to hold on, and then others are not. And so you're supposed to be there for your neighbors, if and when you can. You get?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, seeing people break down publicly because they can't really handle it anymore. So the truth is, it's being talked about more. Our cultures and traditions kind of, where in a place where you talking about your feelings is almost like you're at a risk of maybe getting
bashed
made
for
fun
it
of or something. Yeah, but I don't think, for me, my health comes first, the health of my family and so if I have to ask you when I see that you're not doing very well, I'll ask you if I can.
Okay.
We have a lot of times, and I think a lot of people don't realize the weight of what people in the public eye also
go through.
They're still human, you know what I mean? They just work really hard to do that. I always just tell people that whatever you've decided to do in your life, there's different things that come with it. So you're never going to be ready for it, but the idea is at least try to share, if possible, to the ones around you so that people can try to help you if possible, because people are not really psychic.
Okay, let's move away from that. Tell me, what's your creative process like? Where does the inspiration come from?
It's madness, yes. It's madness. It's absolute madness. Like, people that ask me now, I'm like, I am sorry. I don't really have one kind of way. Like, but one of the ways is catching the bug.
Okay.
And catching the spirit. But I normally like, if I was to have a process, I do ask a lot of if I feel like the vibe of different people that are in the studio might not, that be working at that time, when I beg you, I beg, no beg. So do you mind, let me just have some time
alone
with myself and the song and the producer, or or if as long as you're in the studio and we're contributing, as long as you're not taking away from the process. Of course, like, we can vibe, we're all chilling together and whatnot, but sometimes I beg people because I get very shy.
Yeah.
Depending on who I'm performing in front of or not. So as long as I beg you, I beg, no vex, I beg. A lot of times I might not really care so much, but a lot of times I do care. And I'm like, do you mind excusing me for a minute? And yes, I like working at home. I like working sometimes just me and someone on, and then there are times when I just like working with like a whole bunch of people, a lot of my friends in there.
Okay.
We're vibing and we're just throwing things out there to create. So it depends. Honestly, it depends on the spirit in the moment.
Okay. So,
but a lot of times, what is consistent is just myself and probably like the producer or the person taking my vocals.
Okay, that's really great. Just yourself and yourself doing all the madness.
Not all, not all the time.
Yes, not all the time. But most of the time you're alone.
Most of the time, I see they run from like just, I guess sometimes you have maybe ideas in your head.
Yeah.
That you can't quite express when people are around.
I understand.
And then maybe after, then you can be like, okay, is there anything that you guys can hear that maybe I should change, or
add to it?
Is there any ideas that you have? All those kind of things. Like, once you can get it out first before you get the opinion sometimes.
It helps.
It helps, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, away from that, now let's run straight to 2020. We've got a brand new record out, and it's pretty dope. It's amazing. It talks about your journey, the strength, the weaknesses, everything. Are we getting a music video for this one?
Everybody was literally coming with some fire when Corona decided to show.
Yeah.
But then later, and now it's literally put the whole world on. So anything that I'm doing right now is to find ways, obviously, to add and to help out with, or to push the idea of everyone, wearing a mask, helping where you can, feeding, where there's no food, doing the best you can in the best of your ability. So yes, we're working on something right now based on the fact that we're all kind of at home. Yes, a video is in the works.
Okay, pretty great. So you heard it. We're getting a video for this one. Any body of work this year? Any other thing this year?
Yes, there was already, like I said, with what this came out of, it was a group of amazing people that we came together to create something so beautiful because I was at a place where I wanted to sort of boost the morale of how I was feeling and how I felt. Sort of 2019 was also a difficult year as well.
Okay.
So the idea of the body of work that you're probably going to be hearing is a reflection of that.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I guess opportunities to work with amazing people. So I can't wait.
So this year we're getting a body of work. That's what you're saying.
I hope.
Yes.
You know what it is? I hope is in that packaging because things are changing. Like I told you,
I understand.
I came into 2020 with a plan, and now I'm allowing God to take over. You know,
it's good sometimes. It's good sometimes when you just sit back and let God do the work.
Exactly, while you're making plans. But I'm confident that you're going to hear a lot of things, a lot more for sure.
This year. So we are excited. We're ready. We're getting ready for that. We want to hear a lot more. Yeah, we want to hear a lot more.
Yes, of course.
Ramadan Kareem.
You guys have been supporting me.
Yeah. And
shout out to you guys. I've been really grateful for that because I've been seeing tweets. I've been seeing, a lot of playing of my music on the radio. So I literally, and like I said, now that we have a new normal, as you can see, we're calling in for different things. We've always been doing that, but we're now doing it on a different way. Yeah. Probably going to be airing them online, on radio. Shout out to you guys for that.
All right, thank you so much for all of this. I would also like, that we take a look at some certain things. If you'd like to probably change anything about the way and manner at which entertainers treat themselves, or their colleagues, what would you rather, like to have?
When you say the way of manner, good, bad, ugly.
Good, bad, ugly. Sometimes we hear a lot of bad. There are a lot of bad goes out.
Isn't that just what humans do anyway?
Obviously.
Isn't that what people? Isn't that just people just today they're good, tomorrow they're all right, the next day that a lot of times I always say that when people be going through some stuff. And before you judge or before you say anything, I think ask the right questions first. I think people like making assumptions before they ask the right questions.
Yeah.
So if you're basing it based on your own assumptions, I would say correct that as a person.
Okay.
And if it's based on a particular, issue, then maybe ask it so that we know what we're talking about, that kind of thing.
Okay. So, truth be told, sometimes when we take a look at some of the stories that you see online, you see what people say to each other, you see people call shots, people talk bad or talk down on each other's also. We get to see all of that, but that's what people do anyway. But do you feel like...
So are we focusing on the bad stuff or the good stuff?
I'm just saying, do you feel like the artists need to collaborate more with themselves, show more love to themselves, help each other grow and develop more?
I think people are already doing that. I feel like that's what has created much of the burst in the industry. If I was speaking for myself, I would love to collaborate some more, yes. I'd love to collaborate some more, and this is more about even growing and learning more for yourself as an artist, as well as if you're, using your platform to work with so many different people, of course.
Okay.
I think collaborations are always the way. A lot of times, people tend to ask me about collaborations, but I always say that you might not be asking if I've already asked about collaborations. People are really busy. A lot of times I've sent out a lot of collaborations, but we haven't quite had time to do some of them yet.
Okay.
And the idea is you're planning ahead of time. If you ask for a collaboration now, and this is something I'm sending out to a lot of people, is that people personalize a lot of things too much. If you grow up, you realize that you don't really personalize a lot of stuff. So if I send a collaboration to an artist and I realize they haven't answered me in like 3 weeks, instead of going around, oh, they don't really care, it's more of, hey, I just wanted to sort of, just as a reminder, or if you're not interested, should I send you something else? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times people don't realize that people go with the spirit, and also life, they happen,
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I must have sent something, and maybe somebody
sent something the same, or that kind of line.
Along the way, like, artists are humans. They have losses in their lives. They lose, like, siblings, aunties, uncles, parents. People go through things, some people have kids along the way. There's stuff that, once I had kids was when I stopped disturbing people with kids and be like, you did not answer my call.
Because you have too much to do.
You might not even know where your phone is. Your phone might be in the couch.
Wow.
So a lot of times I've learned not to take things personal. I've grown up a lot. And that way it has reduced my anxiety in the industry, or it has reduced how I look at people. I love people a lot more having kids rather than always trying to think that it's, a lot of times it's not about you. There's a bigger picture.
Okay.
So once you look at it that way, you don't really take things personal.
Okay, that's really great for some information right there. Just in case a couple of people.
If not, you're going to get sick in this industry.
A lot of people right now listening to me, I'm like, I want to, like this, I've done this, I've said this, and it's like, no response. So you see the reason why a lot of people do not get a response. But anyway.
No, the thing is, a lot of times too, even now I've learned with the algorithms online.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you don't really see a lot. So sometimes somebody will be like, you'll be like, you did not see that I posted this. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Please, can you send it to my WhatsApp or send it to, and they're like, oh, okay, I don't know. So sometimes, like, there's a lot of stuff. So communication, I think as Nigerians too, I think there are some places that we lack in communication. I think we get very angry very quickly.
Yeah, and
for unnecessary things.
Do you feel like we're so entitled? Do you think that there's a lot of entitlement?
I think there's a lot of sense of entitlement, yes, but I think that's a human thing.
Okay.
I think the sense of entitlement, but I don't believe that. I've never really had a sense of entitlement on people's things. Okay. Honestly, that's something I think it comes from also maybe at home. My parents have always taught me never to have any sense of entitlement over other people's things. So I think communication is key. Sharing what you know, and also experience. After you have sense of entitlement for people's things, the person you answer, you go
corporate.
Exactly. Now you go adjust yourself. Now you and your own. It's like you and your own. So you figure things out. I figured out. I have my own insecurities that I've had to figure out and not put on other people.
Yeah.
I've had things where it's coming from my own insecurities that I've been jumping into conclusions. That kind of thing. Now we're now making fun with memes online and things like that. So I think along the way, different experiences teach people stuff. And I think the more you expand your mind, the more you learn as well. So it's life, guy. Now life will teach you. You need to teach you. You know what I mean? Now life will teach you. Even if you have people telling you some things, you might not adhere to them until you experience something. So,
that's true. Until you see it yourself.
You see, they argue with person today now until they experience and they will call me to conquer it. Say, that's the way you tell me. Now I understand though.
Should be told.
So let me come over.
All right, I'd like to say thank you so much for being a part of the show. It's been I really appreciate the fact that you stopped by on the show. And right now we're going to be playing your brand new single, Ayo. And I'm like, okay, Do you want to tell us any major thing, anything else which you expect, come 2020? Are we expecting to see a Dija concert pretty soon? What are the other forthcoming projects?
I mean, like I told you, my brother, Corona
just scatter everything.
Let me say, it just make everybody realize it's not really in our control. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, but the ones that is in your control, you do the best you can, and you leave the rest. Yes, I'm definitely working towards doing something amazing for my fans online.
Okay.
We need to, like I said, some of us may be a bit slower than most in catching up with what is I'm one of those people that maybe I might overthink some things sometimes a lot. Go through things. So now it's about jumping into ice cold water and not thinking about it.
Okay.
So yeah, I do have a few things in the works, and I'll definitely make the announcements online.
Okay.
For sure.
No problem. All right, thank you, Dija.
We have now pushed it where we are visiting ourselves online.
That's it. It's online. Everything is online now.
No, but you can never forget the things outside. You can never ever forget everything ready for street. You get because
you can't do.
Yes.
No problem.
You have to.
All right, no problem. We're playing that single right now. Make sure you take good care of yourself.
So much. Thank
Ramadan
you so
Kareem
very much.
And
Thank
all
you
the
so
love.
much. And please continue to support our music, continue to stream. You guys are all part of building the industry.
Yeah.
Like you can never ever look at it like you are not. I see these things a lot. So once in a while, somebody say, "Oh, now because we know be this and because it's never about that." At some point, the person will be anything. Now you go make yourself something.
Yeah, true.
You understand? Push about it. You're part of this industry. You're part of this industry growing. The more you push for your artists, the more you push for yourself, the more these artists keep going. That's why I keep saying fall a million times, rise a million ways. Because the more we keep failing, the more I fail, the more you see the things you should not do tomorrow. And
obviously,
it means that you should also try a couple of times and see your way now your way. Every way now way, as long as you make it your way. Inshallah, God blesses it for you. So.
Yeah. So where can people find you across social media?
You said what?
Where can people find you across social media?
And everything on social media is Aphrodisia. Also, I'm on TikTok. I've now finally opened a trailer.
Okay.
Make your videos, tag me. I will post them. I'll repost them. Right now it's time to grow. It's time to expand, to share and take the chances. Okay, take chances. Corona has shown us that. It's time to help. It's not even time. We've been doing this prior.
Okay.
But if you were not doing it before, please use this opportunity to do it now. Take your chances. Don't overthink it. Be kind, be good, and watch your words. Your words can actually affect people.
Yeah.
And just be kind. You never really lose by being kind.
Okay. No problem. Thank you so much, Dija. We'll get to talk later. All right?
God bless you.
All right, so we'll leave you in the hands of Ayo.
And shout out to this is the Ramadan period.
Yeah.
So please, wherever you can help, wherever you can donate. In case you didn't know, I have a foundation called I Change Foundation.
Okay.
Please check us online on Twitter. You can always see me tweeting about it. I don't talk about it much. I'm really bad about it, but I'm doing it now because the more people know about it, the more we can all help one another.
That's true, though.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much. Right. We'll make sure that people check it out on Twitter as well. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right then.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.